the 3 most scary thoughts you'll have when starting your scuba training and how to fix them. I know I'm not the only one, so here's how you can win your fears, because at the end, trust me, it's so worth it. Number 1, and that's probably one of the scariest things that will come to your mind when you dive for the first time. Let's go. Hi, if you don't know me, I'm Laura, a scuba diver from Switzerland. As everyone, I started my journey making plenty of mistakes, and I'm here today now to share them with you so you can learn from them as well. Today we will discuss the 3 scariest things you'll face when starting your scuba training. The good news is that they all have an easy fix. The first one is probably a fear you'll only get when you already started the training, but I have a super useful trick for you to directly skip to the good part. If you're already a diver certified, I'm sure you can agree with me that you also wish someone would have told you this before you started your training. What scared me the most, and scares still most of the people that are at the beginning of their scuba journey, is definitely because of the worst skill you will ever have to learn. Before we get to that, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and have a look at my Instagram for funny and educational content. So, the worst skill you will learn, or that most divers define as the worst skill, is the mask removal. Basically, in this skill you have to flood completely or partially your mask, or remove it underwater, then put it back and emptying it by blowing bubbles into the mask. And despite sounding super basic, not scary at all, trust me, when you're doing it for the first time and you're surrounded by water, can't see anything and still have to breathe from your mouth, this can be trickier than it seems. Often people tend to inhale instinctively from the nose, which is in the water right now. The biggest fear of people is being deep down, having to remove the mask or that it floods for any reason, and not being able to properly breathe without inhaling water from the nose, of course, which can be, other than uncomfy, also really dangerous. So, here's what you should think about when this fear tries to sneak in your brain, no matter how deep you are. You can, in any moment, help your breathing by pinching your nose with your hand, just like Jason does when he jumps in the water. If Jason can, so can you. Remember, you should train the skill and you should be able to breathe from your mouth without inhaling water from the nose, but in an emergency, you now know what you can do. The second biggest fear is remaining without gas. Now listen, this is impossible. First of all, you have a dive buddy. You never dive alone. This means if you run low on gas, your buddy will still be able to donate you some of his. And second, you have a coach telling you how much pressure is in your tanks in any moment. So make sure you check that coach regularly and end the dive in time. Last but not least, the fear of the depth. Now, this still scares me if I think about it, but trust me, when you're down there, it's different. But what I notice is that every single time someone who doesn't dive or is about to start is talking to me, they tell me, but I'm afraid that something happens and I'm like 30 meters down. Wait a minute. What everyone seems to forget is that you don't run a marathon like overnight. You train for it. You maybe start by running 5 kilometers on your first day and then you increase gradually. And the same is for scuba diving too. No exception. You will do your first dives anyways in a swimming pool, and if that works, you will then go to the open waters, where you will dive 5-10 meters. You won't go searching for Atlantis in the first day. I promise you, you will love scuba diving. But to get there, you first need to win your fear. So send this to someone who should be scuba diving, but is too afraid to start. Let me know in the comments what was your biggest fear when you started scuba diving.